It's a new day, it's a new day, it's a new generation. Who remembers that? Wee bit of legacy, the good old days. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to an update on the Celtic transfer talk front. Today's video is going to be a little more negative, I think, because we found out today that one of the moves Celtic were in for has collapsed. Celtic will not be signing Riley McGree on a transfer this January window. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a bit more from ANGE's press conference today in regards to transfers in January. There's a lot to unpack and there's a lot of mincing in the media that we have to go through. Words being taken out of context and changed as they always are with our manager, and we'll go through that in today's video. Right then, another day passes in the January transfer window, which means it's another day for you to hit that big red subscribe button below. We're almost at 32,000 subscribers. It has flew up this month, so please keep doing that. You guys are listening and you're hitting that button, so that's what matters most. Thank you very much. Hit the like button while you're down there too, and we'll be at 32,000 in no time. So then, Ange done his press conference this morning in the media to talk about Celtic, to talk about the January transfer window, and one of the big stories was that Riley McGree will not be coming to Celtic. That move has folded. He'll be going elsewhere and has decided to explore other opportunities. So let's talk about that, and let's talk about that falling apart for Celtic. There's many different ways that we have to branch off on this, I think, and many different things we have to talk about. First of all, he's not coming to Celtic, and it's a little bit of a kick in the stones because the more I looked at him, the more I was kind of wanting him to come to Celtic. I thought he'd have been a really good signing. It looked like an attacking midfielder that we could use. And I spoke about him a lot. I spoke about him in depth in my video the other day, talking about why he would be a useful addition to Celtic, but that's not going to happen. So I'm a little bit gutted on that front that he isn't coming here. But at the same time, look, if you don't want to play Celtic and play for Celtic, and you're not 100% committed, and you've got doubt there, then you're probably best not coming, and you're probably best going elsewhere. Look, if he's thinking that Middlesbrough or Birmingham or anywhere else is a better move than Celtic Football Club, then it's not the kind of attitude that you want at the club, is it? Look, I'm not going to get on a moral high ground about it and sit in a high horse, but I think that if he was really wanting this, he would have came for it. And look, if he's wanting more money out of it, then fair play. It's his move, it's his career, and he might find it better down in the Championship with Middlesbrough this season. They look to be willing to pay more money, both to him and to Charlotte over in the MLS. So look, it's a move that you've seen some of the numbers, and I think there was a point I was seeing on social media the other day that Middlesbrough were considering going as high as £5 million. Now, £2.5 million, the deal that we heard Celtic were agreeing on, sounded okay, but if that was being raised to £5 million by Middlesbrough, and we had to match those sort of numbers, I think that was a step too far. Look, at the end of the day, it's never me that's paying that money, it's the board, it's Dermot Desmond at Celtic, not me. But I think £5 million would have been a bit of a stretch for someone who's played in the highest level as the Championship. I think it would have been a bit too much to pay forward. So look, if he's going to Middlesbrough, he's going there and that's that. But I think that it shouldn't be the end, hopefully, of our search for a player in that position. I would like us to maybe go and get someone. The main one for me was Hannes Wolf, but I don't know if that's going to happen. That's went really, really quiet. I don't think that was realistic in the first place, but you know, if we could go in and get someone like him, someone that plays in that same area as him or McGree, that would be great. But I don't think that might happen in this window. I think we have got time to assess our options, and we've got time to look forward into the summer window and maybe get a player in that position. But I would have really liked it in this window, considering the fact that Turnbull is injured. He is gone for the next month or so with a little injury. So, you know, having someone in there as an option would have been nice. But at the end of the day, we've signed Gucci, we signed Hatate. We are not short of options in the centre midfield at the moment. Near Beaton is obviously playing really well, so it doesn't worry me seeing a midfield three of Beaton, McGregor, and Tom Rogic. For me, that's a really good midfield three, in fact, because I think Beaton has been a really good player over the past few months, returning into the centre midfield, and I feel like it would actually be a shame to see him dropped. If anything, I think he's been one of the best players in the 11. I've really been rating what I'm seeing of him. So with McGree collapsing and the move going elsewhere, it's not the end of the world. I would have liked it to happen, but some things don't happen, and look, if he goes to Middlesbrough, all the best, I suppose, but you're missing out on the chance of Champions League football, the chance of winning trophies, competing at a very high level as title winners. Yeah, I'm going to be humble, being humble. But title challengers, and you know, if it is Middlesbrough, it's Middlesbrough. Topic number 2 on the Celtic transfer talk update for today. Ange Postecoglou has confirmed that there will be a little bit of a break now in the January window in regards to signings. There is nothing, I think, lined up for Celtic unless he's keeping his cards close to his chest. Now, don't let the mainstream media fool you, and don't believe everything they shove in headlines straight away. The words have been minced a little bit. A lot of the publications, such as Sky Sports, have rushed out and said that's it. January transfer window's done. Celtic are signing no more players. Now, if we do end the January transfer window with no more players, listen to me when I say this. Don't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be very happy if we end the window with the business we've done. I think that we went into the window very strong. We signed the 3 Japanese boys. We've brought in Kenny. That was a very good way to start the window. If we end the window in that fashion, it might be a little bit underwhelming, but at the end of the day, it's still a very good window. Don't be surprised if we don't end the window like this. But what I will say is, don't believe the headlines saying that that's it done. Ange has said, you know, there's names being made up by the media. There's names being thrown in from absolutely nowhere. It's all just rubbish, and there's nothing on the cards right now. He's talking about right now at this moment in time. He's not said anything about the January transfer window being done. That's us finished our business. For some reason, the media have painted that picture as if the January transfer window is done. I don't know why, but, you know, we really have a bad habit in our country's media of coming out and just lying in headlines and throwing in words that were not used. It's happened on numerous occasions with every club in this country. It's not just a Celtic thing. It's happened with Rangers. It's happened with St Mirren. It's happened, you know, it happens all the time. It's really, really annoying. What he has said, there is going to be a little break. I'll throw up the quote actually on screen. So the key bit of wording was, as we speak right now, there are no other offers or people I've spoken to. Key phrase being, as we speak right now. That's the point I'm being on about when they're saying, you know, they've said that that's January done. At no point, I think, has he actually used the words, that's January done, it's over. He's not said we're not signing any more players. As I said, I would be not surprised if we don't sign anyone else, and I wouldn't be disappointed in the slightest. I'm happy with what we've done in this January window, but I think that over the next few days there will be a kind of significant silence in regards to transfer rumours, links, and Ange's confirmed that himself. He seemed a little bit angry when saying so, and he said in the press conference, the 20 names that come out tomorrow are all lies or fabrications, or they're from people at home bored and googling names and throwing them up there, or agents trying to get a little more value for their clients. He didn't seem too happy in regards to agents and the kind of possibility of that happening. I can't be any clearer than that. And what I won't do is lie. That is what he said. There's no one else we're talking to. There's no other offers. No one else I'm showing interest in. If that changes, I'll let you know. So he has left that wiggle room there, as I said at the end, for the potential chance of players coming in at the end of this window. But the big guy's made himself clear that anything that comes out over the next couple of days is nonsense. And I think that kind of rubbishes everything else that we've heard in regards to players like Hannes Wilf, the Iranian boy that we were speaking about the other day. You know, I think that there is probably no chance of those guys actually coming to Celtic, and maybe these are names that have been thrown in for absolutely no reason, and maybe just looking at the chance of heightening the profile of players who have been involved with Celtic. But I wouldn't be surprised, as I said. Hopefully there is something that comes up, and as Ange said, he'll let us know. He'll let us know if something comes up. But I'm happy with where the squad is as we sit here in January. So then the last couple of points then, before we end off this video, the last couple of things to talk about in Celtic transfer talk this week, or sorry, today, it might change, who knows. Jota is back in training. We've seen images today of him in full training. He's been back with the squad, still a couple of weeks away from returning to games, I believe, but he is back in training. And Ange commented today on his transfer situation and whether Celtic are going to get him on a permanent deal. He has said that there has been a kind of initial talks, but nothing that will be confirmed this month, I believe, about Jota and signing for Celtic. Hopefully that deal crosses the line, because I really, really can't explain enough and can't put into words enough how much I want to see him at this club. And also, Lee Griffiths. We've not spoken about him for a long, long time in this channel. The way it should be, the way it should have been about 3 or 4 years ago, quite honest, to be quite honest with you. You know my opinions on Lee Griffiths. I've not been a fan of him over the past few years, as much as I've tried, but his future at Celtic seems to be all but over. It seems to be finished. And that's what I expected, but Ange did very briefly comment on it. And when I say very briefly, I mean 1 sentence, and he was done. He couldn't be bothered with anything else. It seems, there has been talk of maybe Lee Griffiths returning to Celtic, Dundee cutting that loan short, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. It looks as though he's going to stay at Dundee, but in regards to his future, the words I believe Ange Postecoglou used was he'll be looking at options elsewhere, and that's the way that he thinks both him and the player think about it, and it looks as though his Celtic career will be over. It's about time, to be quite honest. Right, that'll do it for today. It's been a big update. It's been a busy day for Celtic and Ange Postecoglou, and hopefully we're back in business very soon with winning games, getting points, and closing that gap at the top of the table. Hibs is massive on Monday, and I'll be here every day on the build up to that as we return from the winter break. So make sure to like and subscribe to stay updated, stay informed, and stay in line with me in the channel, and I'll see you all next time.